everything changes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. It's Monday, September 2nd, Labor Day 2019, and I just wanted to quickly get it out of the way that we are fine. Gulf Coast of Florida, the storm is over here, we're over here. We're closer to Mexico and Texas and all that. They're over on the other coast, so make sure you keep those people in your thoughts. They're gonna take a beating, think Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and north, all the way into North Florida, which is Jacksonville, and then across the border into Georgia, think Savannah, those kind of places all the way north into the Carolinas. So they're gonna get hit. It's probably gonna be about a 3 when it comes in. If it doesn't keep curving out like that, it should just touch that side of the coast, but we'll be fine. We're probably gonna obviously get some rain and wind from the outsides, but people on the other coast might get some actual damage. So good luck to you guys, stay safe. Let's go in. Yesterday's video was all about Alibaba AliExpress. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll link the video below. It's where to buy generic bulk merchandise, typically from China. There are some other places, Hong Kong, which not right now, I guess. I think some other sites like India and bulk places that you would think of are on there, but mostly Chinese goods. Now, some people didn't like it because they said that it was fake goods. It's not actually fake goods, it's generic goods. It's like a plain red candle. It's like a plain, blue, plain blue tripod thing that I have here. This could be generic, and somebody has just put their name on it, and so you could put your name on one that was generic blue. So that's the kind of stuff that you're looking at buying off that site. It's not, fake Yeezys and fake Rolexes. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so the follow-up questions from everybody, and we're gonna use the whiteboard here to kind of display a little bit, was bulk merchandise here in the United States. I've made a video on it, it was about a year ago. It's time to make a follow-up for 2019-2020. I'm gonna give you 5 of my favorite bulk purchase websites, pallets, wholesale liquidation, and you guys can decide for yourselves which ones to go with. Some of them are expensive, some of them are cheap, some of them are for bigger buyers, bigger quantity, some are for smaller quantity. And also, I'm not gonna include the ones that I think are hit or miss or junk or not good. Some of you have heard of those. You're not gonna find Blue Lots, Bulk, BULQ, or liquidation.com on this list, only because you can make money off of them, you can lose money on them, just like any other pallet wholesale liquidation site. These 5 that I'm gonna give you right now are the ones that I would guide you towards to be safer, in my opinion. Okay, so number 1, and I'm gonna start with the small ones. I'm gonna work my way up. So number 1 here, make sure that you guys can kind of see this, and I'll zoom up so that you guys can see better. Number 1, right? Number 1, right there. It's gonna be CNC Wholesale. And they're located in Florida, actually just down the road from me, okay? Probably not gonna be able to see this. Let me just grab the camera because it's gonna be easier for me to hold the camera and do this for you guys. All right, let me just turn this camera around. There we go. Number 1, CNC Wholesale in Florida. And I'm gonna link all 5 of these down below so you'll have a direct link to all of these. So this is gonna be for CNC Wholesale. You're gonna talk about some clothing. Occasionally they get things like belts, shoes, things like that. Bathing suits sometimes. You'll just have to check to see what's available. And this is Chris. And you guys have seen Chris T on my channel before. And so again, that'll be link number 1 directly to CNC Wholesale Florida. And this is something that you could spend as little as a few $100s, say, and obviously everything is different. You could spend as little as $300, $400, something like that, up to $800 and $900, just depending, you can spend as much as you want, of course, but that's kind of the range that you'd be looking at in there. Okay, so number 2 is gonna be Sun Coast Liquidators.com, and these 2 are in Florida. Obviously, I have 2 Florida connections because, well, that's where I'm at. That's Florida, and this is gonna be things that are gonna range between like $750 and $1,500 for most of the pallets, you know, obviously plus shipping, depending on how far you are, how much you buy, what it weighs. And she has a ton of makeup. Home goods. Toys. Kitchen appliances, like small ones, like George Foreman grills and that sort of thing. So that's what you look for from Suncoast for that kind of range. Okay, number three is direct. Whoops, direct. Liquidator.com. And again, I'll link this down below. Now these will run anywhere, you know, $400 or $500 up to, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. And this is all goods. This is going to be electronics, toys, games, etc. And I have videos from most of these places. If you look on my site, I'll try to link those down below as well. Number 4 is via trading. Now this is the only one that I have never bought from or sold their merchandise on my own. I have sold from, and number 5 I have also sold from as well. Via trading is in LA. Directliquidation.com is all over the country. They're in the USA, by the way. Via trading's in LA, California. And they have all prices as well, you know, $300 or $400 up to $3,000 or $4,000 to $3,000, $4,000. Now, you may have seen Lindy Glenn's videos on these. They have a little bit of everything as well. They have makeup, they have toys, they have health and beauty, they have electronics, tons of stuff. Again, I'll link them down below. And number 5 is bstock.com, right? bstock.com. So bstock.com is nationwide. They're all over the country. They deal with the big boys. They deal with Home Depot, Best Buy, Costco, Kohl's, I believe, is on there. I know Walmart's on there. Target is on there. So all the biggest ones in the country, and they can be a few $100s, a few hundred, up to, you know, I've seen easily $20,000 plus pallet lots, like of big screen TVs and PlayStation 4s and things. So this is kind of the big boy, bstock.com, the largest, one of the largest in the country. Via Trading is very big on their own accord there in LA, and directliquidation.com is kind of right there in the middle. They do, you know, a little bit of both. And then these are the two smaller guys. Not to say there's anything wrong with smaller companies, but just, you know, take a look at the websites and check it out. I'll link it down below to all 5 of them, and you guys can decide what's good for you, what's not good for you, and whether you want to purchase for them or not. Now here's the thing. When you go onto these sites and you're buying, there's 3 rules that you always follow when you're buying bulk, liquidation, or wholesale merchandise. So rule number 1 is manifest. Some people are willing to buy items unmanifested. I am not. I always think that you need a manifest to know exactly what you're buying. Seeing something or buying something sight unseen and without having a list is completely a gamble and a risk, and I would never do it. And I don't recommend that you do it. There's some people that will disagree with me, but that's just the way that I feel. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I guarantee you, if you poll some of the biggest buyers and sellers that buy tons of pallets, at least 80 to 90% of them would agree with me that you need a manifest. I can't think of any off the top of my head that don't buy manifested goods. The only reason you would buy unmanifested goods is if you knew the supplier and you knew the quality of the merchandise, or if you were buying it at such a ridiculous rate. Like if somebody told you they had 100,000 pieces of clothes unmanifested, buy it all right now for a penny a piece. Well, yeah, you'd probably do it, right? A penny a piece, 100,000 pieces of clothes. Can I even do that math? I mean, what is that, like $1,000 bucks? I mean, 100,000 pieces of clothes times 0.01 is $1,000, right? So yeah, of course you would. Of course you'd buy that unmanifested. If somebody said they had 100,000 video games at a penny a piece, yeah, you'd probably buy that unmanifested. And even if you ended up with 100,000 Madden 97s, you'd figure something out to do with it, right? Okay, so long story short, rule number 1, manifest. The manifest is the list, it's the items that are on it and the condition. Rule number 2 is always take into effect the total price and the shipping to get it to you, whether it's $200 in shipping freight. Remember the lift gate fee is usually $75 to $100. That means if you don't have a loading dock and the lift gate has to come out and they got to lower it, like at your house in your driveway or your office, small office, then they're going to charge you an extra fee. So you want to group all that together, the fee, the shipping freight, and the cost of what you're actually paying, and then cross-reference that to the manifest to make sure that you can make money. Of course, if you're paying, $1,000 for a pallet and you do all the math and you come up with $2,000 in gross sales, and then you realize that they're going to take $500 in fees and shipping when you sell all this stuff, and then you're paying a liftgate fee, and all of a sudden you realize there's only $100 in profit. Well, any wrong thing will go wrong, can go wrong, and you're going to be negative. So you got to make sure there's plenty of room for profit. That's rule number 2 with the numbers. And rule number 3 is that you have to assume that everything you're getting is sort of as is, broken, or at least some percentage of it junk. Now, only if you're buying customer returns used items. If you're buying brand new, then the company needs to make good on giving you brand new stuff. Now, if it doesn't, most of them will replace the merchandise or at least give you some form of a refund. But if you're buying customer return, shelf pulls, stock pulls, things like that, you can assume that some percentage, 10 to 20%, is going to be junk or no good. So make sure when you realize you think you can buy it for $1,000, sell it for $3, and net $2, and that you're going to be, making $1,000. Well, take away $300 because that's 10%. So you might only make $1,700 and a $700 profit. So things to keep in mind, those 3 rules. Make sure that you're looking at the manifest, make sure that the money makes sense, and make sure you allow for waste and trash. And also, kind of the bonus rule, it's no different than any other sourcing and shopping. You got to do the work. You got to, you don't have to go out sourcing at the store. It's going to show up to your doorstep, but you still got to sort that stuff. Test it if it's electronics and home goods, go through it if it's clothing and make sure there's no damage or stains or what have you, or defects or brand new with holes in them or whatever. You still got to put in the time and the effort to photograph them, to list them. It's no different. You just don't got to go to the stores and source, which does cut out half of the problem of time management, but you're still gonna have to go on the pallet sites and spend some time searching through pallets and manifest. So you still are gonna spend some time. Now, pallets, what makes them, in some cases better, is that you're going to get quantity of items. So you may get 10 of something, and so all of a sudden you've listed an item, and instead of listing 1, you've put up an ad, and now you've got 10 active, and so that outruns the whole one-off thrifting, reselling part of the process. So there's your 5 right there. I'll link them down below along with my video from yesterday about Alibaba. Check it out. If you have questions, concerns, or comments, put it in the comment section below. And as a disclaimer to all this, if you go out and you buy pallets from any of these 5 companies, they're not my companies. Yes, I love B-Stock. Via Trading I've not bought from. Direct Liquidation I bought from in the past. I've done business with both of these, not this one. And Suncoast and CNC are actually people that I know personally here in Florida, so I do vouch for them and their quality, but full transparency, I do know them, and I am friends with Chris, and Terry and Tito, who own Suncoast, are good business associate friends of ours as well, but they have a good business, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in what they put out. So have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day. Make sure that if you have anything you want to send over to me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and the sale that I ended on the 1st of September for the reseller program and everything else, it's been revamped. The price has gone up a little bit, but it's still an amazing offer to get your store reviewed in September is $9, eBay store review, the link below, and the full training package that includes the store review plus all my videos and guides is down below that as well. You can click there and pick those up today, and really appreciate it. And if you do, I'll see you in the emails on those. Have a wonderful night, guys.